So I wasn't planning on doing this video today, but I have some time and my package arrived 1 day sooner than I expected. So these are the N15 fender vents. I'm going to be installing. They're the front passenger and driver side vents. So we're going to open up this box, show you what's inside, and then we're going to be taping up the fender and cutting big massive holes in them. So I'm pretty impressed with the instructions. It looks like it gives you kind of step-by-step here, which is really nice. A lot of products like this, you just kind of get them and hope that you know what you're doing. So this is definitely nice to have, and I will be reading that over very carefully. So the other thing that came with this kit is these 2 cutout guides. So basically what you'll do is cut this out, lay it on the fender, and then you'll know exactly where to cut. So we're gonna start on the inside. You can always cut more, but you can never cut less. So I'm always gonna start my holes a little bit smaller. And then once we're done installing these, I'm going to get them bent, the fins where they're supposed to be, and then I'm actually gonna go and take them and get them powder coated, a gloss black. It's pretty nice that they included their own rivets that are black. I was actually thinking today I was gonna get some black rivets, so it's really nice that these came with the kit. So I just got off the phone with the company that's gonna be doing my powder coating, and unfortunately, they're about 3 to 5 business days out. And then once I get them back, I'll be installing them at a later date. But today we're gonna get everything cut out and get these ready to bolt up. Now you don't necessarily have to take the wheel off, but I'm going to, not because I don't trust myself to stay away from the tire as you're cutting, but we need to trim the inner fender liner. We're gonna take a piece out about the size of the vent just underneath here so that we can get the turbulent air out of the wheel well, which is half the reason that you put these vents on there. You wanna get rid of your turbulent air, and then it does add a little bit of downforce. So this is about where it's gonna sit. This distance where the fender actually creases to go completely vertical right here, this needs to be the same distance all across here. I don't know exactly how far I'm gonna have it, but I'm just gonna make sure it's all the same. And then from here to the bottom of this, looks like it's about 6 3/4, 7 inches or so. Once I get it in the exact position I want it, I'm gonna trace the inside of this and start cutting the fender out. So now that we've got our main hole cut out, we're gonna basically cut this same shape into the fender liner so that we have enough air passing through. But before that, I'm gonna bend these fins up to where I want them. You wanna do this really carefully. You only get a chance to bend it a couple times before you break something like this because it's metal. So I'm gonna bend them up to how I want to, and the fins will actually have to sit inside here. So if this isn't big enough, the fins will tell me. So we're gonna get these bent up and make sure this hole is big enough. From here, there's not a lot left. I drilled a couple holes here to make sure that this was gonna fit exactly where I wanted it to. Now that I know that this is gonna work and the fins are spread out evenly throughout, we're gonna cut this fender liner to the shape of this. I'm not gonna cut all the way to the edge. I was gonna cut to about right here so that there's still a line running up over the top. So after we cut this, the last thing we can do before this is ready to go on is get the edge of this all cleaned up. We want to get all the barbs off of it so you're not cutting yourself. Then you want to put some rust preventative spray on this so it doesn't get rusty. Obviously this is bare metal now, so we'll get that all cleaned up, and then we're going to be taking this over to go get it powder coated, and we'll have it back in a couple days. So that's going to wrap up on my recording for today. This side was definitely a lot harder to cut out than the other side, and I'm hoping that's not because I did something over here wrong. I measured this point right here and this angle, so the other side is hopefully in the similar location. I've been doing a lot of measuring going back and forth, and it looks like that side's going to be pretty close. For right now, I'm going to be done recording until we get these things back from being powder coated. I want to make sure that both of them are the exact same so that they match. And then, like I said, I hope I cut the hole out on that side in the proper location. So I'm going to cut that side out like we did here with the fender liner. And then, like I said, I'm just going to run some Rust-Oleum rust reformer paint. We've used that before on the channel. It's not a big deal. Just make sure you don't leave any bare metal because it will definitely rust. So it's been a couple days since I dropped these vents off to get powder coated. I just got a call. I got in my car and I haven't recorded, so I'm actually here right now. I just need to go inside and pick them up, pay for them. And it only ended up being like $30 to powder coat these, which I think is probably gonna be way better for me having them have an actual coating on them versus just spray painting them. So I'm really excited to see what they look like. And I'll be turning the camera back on when I get them out here. So here they are. They look absolutely awesome. Nice, beautiful gloss black, and I am so excited to get these on the car. Here we are back at the garage getting these ready to install. I'm sick of the car looking like this, so I'm very happy that these are finally done. I did notice that the powder coat makes it a little bit thicker, so these holes here aren't as big as they used to be, so I'm gonna have to bore those out as well as drill the holes into the fender. Now I do have a couple holes already pre-drilled so that I kind of was able to line this back up. So I'm gonna be using some painter's tape to go over this so I don't scratch them as I bore them out and get them ready to mount up to the fender. And then we'll be using my Harbor Freight Central Pneumatic riveter. This has been a really good riveter for me. We're going to replace the tip because the other rivets that we're using for this project are a lot smaller than normal. If you're curious to know any more about this riveter, I believe it's like $40. I'll have a card up here linking to my review of this when I first bought it.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
I want to thank everybody for watching. This has been an awesome video. I hope that these perform just as well as they look. I have absolutely fallen in love with the cosmetics of my car all over again. Big thanks to N15. They make some really good stuff. I definitely recommend checking them out. I will have the link to their site in the description below. If you have any comments or questions about this install, leave them in the comment section below. And as always, I will see everybody in the next video.
We'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and